All right, what's up, YouTube? So, hotfix number 19. There's a lot going on here, as Grayson had so gracefully let us know in the general chat earlier today. They were working on a lot till 6 a.m. Because we have so much to go over, I'm going to bring on Dink 206 and BeastBorgMusic today to go over some of these notes, discuss what we've seen in game, what we're excited about, what we're a little pissed off about, and so on. Let's get into it.
Yo, what
So,
up, guys?
We're good.
we've got a new race. I haven't even purchased it yet, but it seems pretty cool.
It's
They
pretty cool.
so do you have to purchase each color separately? Is that what's going on here?
Yeah, yeah. It's like male and female for the other races.
Okay, so we've got red, blue, or green. They've got a slightly flatter and elongated head, requiring the normal head hitbox to angle forward to match the model. Due to their unusual head orientation, they cannot wear any head armor and instead receive a plus 20 armor rating from the leathery scales. I think that's going to kind of help with some of the things that they changed for Barbarian. Maybe Barbarians are going to run Lizardman? I don't know.
Yeah, it's possible. Plus 20
Maybe.
armor with some of the new things that we're gonna be talking about here in a minute. So, yeah, I think it's a good chance.
Yeah. I also like how they mention our hope is that if this goes according to plan, we can start experimenting with more daring fantasy races like dwarves. I know a lot of people were kind of worried about that because obviously they're going to be half the height, less hitbox, probably going to be definitely kind of brutal in melee combat. I guess just aim down and hit them in the head, but
Yeah.
kind of excited to see that.
I wish it was gnomes, honestly.
Yeah, something like
We
that
could
would be
start with
cool.
gnomes, a little smaller.
Yeah, just make them as small as possible, like goblin height, and go from there.
No, shorter, a little shorter.
Yeah, right, even smaller than the gobos. It's going to be a lot of headshots for smaller races like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real. Well, I
Um,
mean, the ducking mechanic for them might help.
that's true. I mean, I've seen some of these guys like duck and spin out of the way crazy quick. I gotta start doing that more with the with the arrow and crossbow because like every time the crossbowman catches me, there's nothing I can do about it.
God
Yeah.
damn crossbowman.
It's so strong.
Aimbot.
Don't nerf it, but you know, it's crazy strong. Yeah, their
Oh, yeah.
aimbot's kind of cracked too.
Yeah.
The drop rate for uncommon and rare items in normal dungeons has been improved, especially for sub bosses and higher end chests. So it looks like they improved the drop rate for like coffins, the tombs, just like all the chests in general. I think everybody's going to be happy about that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, especially the lower population that doesn't have much money. Poor population.
Yeah, it's like we're always running a
Ones that
bard in
only-
the comp, but otherwise, like, I don't know, getting white items out of the royal coffin just seemed.
Oh yeah. It
Yeah.
is. I can't tell you how many I've opened, and it's just full of trash.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
Just cracked bangles, like white lanterns. Just stupid.
yeah, it kind of made me want to pursue team fights and so on a little bit more too, because it was like, well, we're not
Maybe they
really
have
getting
to get
drops here. Yeah, maybe they got something.
No, I kind of like the way they have the economy now. It's hard to get things. The key's going for 600 because of the loot stash size. Things are actually starting
Yeah.
to develop to where they're where we're actually seeing the light of where the game's like starting to build. And people are like, okay, well they're uncomfortable, they're changing, everything's different. Well, that's good. We don't want to be okay, this is what it is, then the game's already built. No, they're still developing, and I'm so hyped for that.
Yeah, it's really good to see. And I don't know, the economy in the last, I guess we'll call it season, before the last wipe, it's like keys were going for what, 6,000, 8,000 at one point?
500.
It's
Yeah.
like, okay, there's more gold in the economy, I get that, but like, I don't know.
That's 2 stashes. No, that's a stash and
Yeah.
a half.
Well, like, I don't know, 1250 makes sense. Like, one trade slot full of gold for a key. Okay. But
Yeah.
6K was like, okay, why not? We were farming keys more often than anything. It was like, well, hold on to these because that's 6 grand, I guess.
Yeah, I think Gem pre-wipe was pre-last wipe was doing about 12 a full slot, yeah, and it was bringing back about the. It was going pretty fairly, but I don't
Yeah.
even think the key anymore is worth it. Like
No, and
I heard someone talking about the skull key as well today, and it doesn't like it used to drop guaranteed legendaries, like blue items.
oh,
It's not even
I haven't
not
even
even worth the money.
seen. Where did you get the skull key from? I haven't even seen it drop.
Me neither.
I think I've gotten one. I just forgot where. It might have been from either one of the mini bosses. So
Oh,
maybe
okay.
like a worm golem or like
Maybe a
maybe
wraith.
Yeah, worm would make
wraith,
sense.
possibly
Okay.
skeleton.
This next
I think
one.
they all have a chance.
Yeah, yeah. I've even seen the gold key drop from the Ghost King. I didn't even realize the bosses would drop them. So,
Didn't know that either.
clarity potions no longer drop as loot. What was the
That's-
what was the price of clarity potions when you had logged in earlier? Like a key
They
for
go
a purple?
for
I saw someone was
like
trying to
that.
sell purple clarities for a key each.
Oh my
And I
god.
saw someone else try to sell one for 200. So I'm not sure exactly where they're
Yeah.
at.
They're just gonna
Probably
inflate it.
fluctuating a lot.
Yeah, with like 2 weeks until the next wipe, clarity potions are gonna go through the roof. Like if you need the money, maybe sell them now. If you don't, maybe hold on for a week. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll
That's
see.
a good point.
You know,
I
consumables
wonder
like
if
that,
they
it's like once they're
change.
used, they're gone. So
Did they delete them? Because they said they're doing some.
No, they didn't delete them. I still have mine on my cleric.
Okay. So I wonder if they still work or not. It's a good fact.
yeah, that's kind of wild.
But
Just,
yeah, they're probably worth probably a couple keys right now.
oh, they gotta be. Yeah, like
They
if you
still
can't
work,
get them,
especially with the clarity increase. But I agree with what they did. There's too many clarity chuggers just running mage, and just as soon as they start casting spells, they chug a
yeah,
clarity, and as soon as it's done, they're eating another one, and they just have infinite spells once they run out of
yeah.
clarity.
There's like no rest if you have the money to
Yeah,
afford all of them. So I don't know. It's a bit of a pigeonhole, but it does kind of force every team comp to have to rest. I mean, even if you just drop a campfire real quick.
yeah.
No.
Even rogues have to
Yeah.
pick up their arrow.
Yeah, that's true. Weapon damage scaling as weapons improve in rarity has been improved. Crossbows, throwable weapons, and magical weapons are exempt.
I can
Of
agree with
course.
that. I
That's
like that.
fine.
And that increase
Yeah.
goes to to daggers, swords, bows, and pole arms, where War Maul is getting a damage and armor pen reduction.
Formal, I agree with. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's still too.
Yeah, they did a bit of a nerf in 16, and I don't know. I felt like it was still kind of overpowered, but then again, you get smacked with a purple War Maul from a kitted out barbarian, and you're gonna drop.
Yeah.
Yeah, this quarterstaff is going to be next because it has a quicker attack rate and 100% damage no matter where you hit.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
it seemed like quarterstaff got like way too buffed, and people were kind of sleeping on it for a while, but
Oh yeah, it's just an
Um,
awkward attack move.
yeah, it's a little bit
Yeah.
slow and clunky. Or not the quarterstaff. The quarterstaff is quick, but it's I don't know. I found myself
It's
like
just the
single
way.
clicking with it a lot because the second and third attacks seemed like all over the place.
Yeah, I've seen its animations, like it's swung on at a dummy and it hits a lot of arm shots, I've noticed.
Oh, that makes
It's
Yeah.
like
sense.
really good with it. Like, I feel like I would rather use a different weapon for the
Yeah,
quarterstaff.
going for that headshot all the time. It's like poke, poke. All
Yeah.
right. Speaking of that, the Battle Axe, Viking Sword, and Chris Dagger attack animations have been updated. Viking Sword I thought was fine, but Battle Axe definitely needed some help.
Yeah.
Like Felling Axe was just all around better.
Personally, I didn't like the Viking sword, so maybe I might like it now. Who knows?
Yeah.
So with
Yeah.
so back to the Lizard Man real quick. That might be a hint to the new map that's coming.
It could be.
Yeah, I've heard talk if they're doing like a snow map.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a hint to a snow map, but it
Yeah.
has goblin-esque look. But I wonder if they're gonna do the Lizard Men more like a goblin, higher
Oh,
tier or something.
yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Because we see skeleton, we just haven't seen orcs yet or elves.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Yeah, I was
is a
kind of wondering about
possibility.
that. Or maybe like a desert kind of biome? I don't know.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
would be really cool.
Yeah.
Sounds really open though. Maybe like a pyramid kind of temple thing for a map. That would be cool.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I really like
Oh,
the
yeah.
verticality of what we call the Zubat Mountain. Just because, like,
Oh yeah.
there's a lot of entrances into that room, and if you're in the right spot, you actually have the upper hand. If you're in a bad spot, then whoever's entering that room has the upper hand. I think it always makes for a pretty challenging fight.
Oh yeah.
Buckler impact resistance has been upgraded from 4 to 6. Yes, the buckler can now block a non-crush war maul if you want to risk it. Wow, I like how they put that in there too. Like, yeah, by the way, you can actually block with the buckler. Look at that. Some of these changes, they changed like the knowledge and agility for primary stats on some things we'll get into soon. I don't know how stoked I am about this. Like, the lute gives knowledge as a primary stat, and the flute gives agility as a primary stat. Okay, they needed something as their primary, that makes sense. And the lyre giving resourcefulness. I don't know, I feel like I guess they were necessary. The lyre with resourcefulness, it's going to be nice just because you can play a little bit quicker while you're using it. So having a higher rarity one. I'm using the lyre for like 4 or 5 songs usually, depending on the build. So
Yeah, it's pretty good.
a nice little buff. And then we get into the 3 tunics here. Northern Full Tunic, Padded Tunic, and Regal Gambeson have all had their armor rating reduced. And then we get movement and speed penalties on the Gambeson and the Padded Tunic. That's probably necessary. With the current buff ball meta, it's like anything to slow that Barbarian down without apparently actually nerfing Barbarian.
Yeah.
And then
Like,
armor rating reduction too on the 3 Barbarian helmets.
yeah, they just got a armor buff here down below. Talk about, which could be mixing with that wizard like where's.
Yeah, a little bit of balance there. Probably a good call. So now the armlet gives strength instead of resourcefulness, and the Wanderer's outfit gives agility instead of knowledge. The doublet also gives agility instead of knowledge. A little bit of a speed penalty, that makes sense. I really like the
I like
knowledge
the
on
agility.
Wanderers.
I like the agility over knowledge on the doublet, being a ranger main.
Oh yeah, that makes
Like
perfect
Cooper,
sense. Yeah. But like the little knowledge buff on the Wanderer's outfit, man. Oh, I was all about that.
Yeah, I don't understand that one.
Like,
Okay.
all right,
Bard
okay.
main over here.
I don't know where I'm gonna get my knowledge then. I guess it'll just be that one hat and a pair of leather gloves. Like, shit, man.
Maybe some padded pants if you're lucky.
Yeah, right? Like, now I'm gonna be looking for anything plus knowledge for the chest. Nothing's
They
gonna give
are
it
going
base.
to be green items.
Well, that's true. That's true. Like, I would have taken the resourcefulness instead of the agility. I don't know. And then this is big. The occult hood now gives magical healing instead of magical resist.
Big.
That is
Yeah.
huge.
That is basically going to mean that we're not going to have any Lizard Man warlocks because that magical healing is going to be imperative.
Oh yeah.
I mean, maybe somebody will rent it for the memes, but
Yeah,
I'm
it's
not expecting
definitely
it.
just a meme. 100% a meme.
Yeah, it kind of seems like it. And then we've
Top
got
of that, warlocks get shadow masks, so why would you want to not have the best hat in the game?
it does make the hood more viable compared to the Shadow Mask because it seemed like everybody was just ditching the hood.
Yeah.
Wizard hat and shoes now give magical power instead of resist. I like that, especially
Yeah.
with the little bit of wizard nerf.
Oh,
Yeah, the clarity nerf gonna hit them hard. People are gonna be crying, but they're gonna have to figure out that they're gonna have to sit down like the clerics.
Yep.
Clerics take more rest than anybody in the game.
Yeah, cleric seems so
They're
slow
not-
compared to wizard. And like, okay, sure, they're different, but like, I don't know. Without something comparable to meditation, like, it's just so slow.
Yeah, they're gonna have to learn to sit down and stop drinking too many clarity potions.
Right? It's like anytime you want heals on a cleric, it's like, well, there goes 25 gold. There goes 25 gold. Gotta buy another campy. 25 gold. Dread Hood now gives a 15% buff duration. That's the craftable hood, isn't it?
yeah, the
Yes.
one in the leathersmith.
That is
I don't know. I don't know
It
if I've
doesn't
really
even
seen
say
anybody
it has it.
like
It's weird.
running those. Is that the red hood? No, that's ruby
No,
silver.
that's
Yeah.
no. This is the ranger hood.
Oh, okay. Buff duration? I mean, I guess.
Oh.
Dread Hood is the ring.
Armor pen would have made sense. Like, as
Oh,
much
yeah.
as I'm kind of against that, I don't know. Buff
Yeah.
duration.
It can go on ranger or rogue. So I think it should have had armor pen. honestly.
Yeah.
I'm looking
Yeah.
at my
Especially
Dread
because it
Hood
takes a
now.
centaur tail to make.
It just takes less headshot.
I mean, but that's just the normal like ranger rogue hood headshot damage reduction.
Yeah, what's the craftable one say?
That's what I was looking.
5% headshot damage reduction. I can my ranger real quick. This is like
Oh,
my
wait.
starting one. It
Is the-
has one more armor rating and then the rules on it. That's the only difference.
That's wild.
Is the 15 like included in all the rolls that they could put out?
It should be.
No, it's probably a gray text line. Maybe they didn't actually update that.
Yeah, maybe.
That's interesting. I have a feeling they're going to change that up. That just seems a little out of place, I guess.
Yeah.
Some of the random modifiers, we've got action speed is increased, minimum armor rating increased, minimum move speed increased, spellcasting speed increased, interact, magic interact, and so on. And then fixed an issue where the debuff duration bonus option was being applied in reverse. Oh no!
And that would be all the stats that roll on gear.
Oh, gotcha. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's random modifiers. So it'd be like
Yeah.
whatever rules.
Those +1 armor rating rolls, it was just like, okay, like we'll just put this in the garbage then.
Yeah. I was not happy about some of those rules I found.
So then we have a whole bunch of class changes. So we're going to start off with spell count recharge when resting has been significantly improved. Recharge interval reduced from 2 seconds or from 3 seconds to 2 seconds, and the amount of spell cost gained has been upgraded from 8 to 17.
I
So,
think that's
yeah.
big.
Yeah,
Just to
especially
take
with
away
clarities being gone, like, okay.
Oh yeah.
That's going to be huge for cleric, and the wizards are going to be like, wait, you mean I have to sit down to do this now? They're going to think it's super low, and the clerics are going to be hyped.
Oh yeah, I'm excited to try that out later.
So, Fighter's Adrenaline Spike perk activation point has been updated from 15 to 40%. I really like this. 15% is like, there's really no attack in the game that's going to leave you at 15% and be like a viable, like, be a viable attack. Like, you might get one shot in, but at 40%, it's like, okay, you still have time to second wind. You still have time to maybe, circle around, get some healing potions and so on in.
That's 12
Oh, yeah.
seconds.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
8 seconds to 12. That seems like.
That's
How
a
long
third.
is sprint? Is it 12 seconds? If it matches sprint, but I don't know.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. I'll have to look. I'm not sure what sprint's at. Adrenaline.
Sprint is 6 seconds.
Oh, so it's double. That's pretty cool. So you'll hold on to that a little while after you sprint in or sprint out. That's pretty slick. Debuff duration has been changed from 4 to 2. Oh, okay. Taunt now grants 10% magical damage reduction in addition to the original physical damage. It's pretty cool. I like that
good.
they altered that a little bit because like nobody was using it.
I didn't even know there was a taunt, honestly.
Here's a reason to fight like the boss. They can take less.
Yeah, that'll be really nice against the Ghost King too. That magic damage stacking is just ridiculous. So some barbarian buffs. We've got Carnage now grants plus 75 armor rating for 7 instead of plus 10 strength. Okay, so a little bit of an armor buff, and you don't get the health and the damage output. That's pretty slick. Axe.
Yeah, but it's big when you're going hand to hand. You get that 5 plus the lizard's 20.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
90.
that can be
That's
huge.
a whole ruby set. Big, That's
Right.
big. Whole ruby.
After a kill, you just turn around and you're basically wearing ruby silver. Oh god.
For 7 seconds, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that can really be a make it or break it point.
Especially if you're like getting shot at by a archer or something.
Right? Get hit with that earthquake or step in one of the thousands of hunting traps in the dungeon.
Oh yeah.
So axe specialization has the weapon damage increased by +3 instead of a 10%. I like that because 10% can get pretty big when you're stacking physical damage.
Oh, yeah.
And then a little bit of love for Achilles. I'm surprised by this. Debuff duration increased from 2 to 4 seconds. They initially bumped that down, so
Yeah, there might be a reason for it. I just can't see it, honestly. Achilles is it's overpowered.
yeah, it's crazy
Oh.
strong. It's like obviously best in slot for Barbarian.
One of them.
But maybe people will
I like-
start taking other options now. I don't know.
I like what they did to this next.
Yeah, the blood exchange duration increased from 6 to 8 seconds. Lifesteal amount increased as well. It makes that way more viable.
Oh yeah. You don't have to be so dependent on heals.
Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be big. Especially with all of the life drain and stuff going on with Warlock right now, I'm definitely going to look forward to seeing more people using that on Barbarian. I mean, Warlock is such a one-man band sometimes. Like the amount of life steal and life drain is just wild. And then Barbarian's Life Siphon has been renamed to War Sacrifice. Now costs 10% of your maximum health, and increases all of your attributes by. I don't know why they did the 4 to 5. I guess now it's 5.
Yeah. They probably meant to cross that out.
Or maybe it was 4 and they're bumping it up.
Oh, yeah. Probably.
A little bit of love for the rogue here now too. Hand crossbow mastery increased crossbow weapon damage by 2. I like that because hand crossbow is
Trash.
yeah, in a 1v1 like in ruins or in the goblin caves I could see it being more viable. But I never see a rogue with crossbow in ruins. Or not ruins, in the crypts.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen one person use it this wipe.
Yeah. This is a big change for the double jump. The perk no longer confers a landing penalty. Instead, you have minus 20 movement speed while you have the perk equipped. So the whole time your rogue is slower.
Yeah, that's pretty big. They're
Yeah.
stacking up agility and that kind of move speed stuff anyway.
That's true. You can kind
Yeah.
of circumvent it.
Yeah, they can actually put some armor. But some of them like negate it with like the out of I forgot where they shadow step out and then it gives them a boost real quick.
That's a good point
But it
too.
gives them a speed perk and allows them to do a little bit more. Like I see some people jumping around ruins and stuff and they use it to get over to places where they couldn't without the speed. They didn't have the speed, they couldn't make it. So it's gonna make some of ruins a little bit less viable, but if they run maybe like elf or something, they can get some of it back a little bit.
Yeah, you can get the one there. You can get the one on the pants. And then I guess now on the Wanderer outfit. So that's kind of slick.
Yeah.
So there's ways around it.
Yeah.
So we've got weak point attacks. Debuff duration has been reduced from 4 to 3 seconds. And the armor rating reduction on the target has been increased from 30 to 40. They also did the cutthroat cooldown. It's basically been halved. So maybe we'll see those used quite a bit more.
Probably, honestly.
Like the armor rating reduction, that's pretty solid. 40%.
Yeah, that's big.
Plus the dagger's getting a bit of a buff. Yeah.
Yeah. Rogues should be running weak point right now to see if they can run a meta on it.
Yeah, I felt rogues were a bit underpowered during this wipe. They definitely needed a little bit of something.
Yeah. Like there was a lot of just kind of fooling around on rogue. I didn't really feel like it was that that serious of a class. It was definitely my meme class.
100% was a meme class. Maybe it's no longer a meme class now. We'll see.
Yeah.
It's a high roller. Rogues are really good for high roller. Go in high roller.
Yeah.
Just hit all the dashes. Fly through all the enemies because you get invis and you get to open the doors in like a second and a half. You can just run through the whole map and loot everything and then just wait for your portal.
Yeah, that's a good point. You don't even have to mess with most of the rooms.
I mean, that's what the rogue kind of is, you know?
Yeah.
They go in, they steal, and then they hop out.
Especially with the range on dagger. Like, do I need to take any of these fights? No.
Yeah, poison, crossbow, they're good to go.
Yeah. Ranger got a little bit of love here. Ranged weapon mastery perk, physical damage bonus has been increased 5%, and crippling shot has the additional movement speed penalty applied to the target increased to 25, so an increase of 10% when you shoot the target's legs. Have you used crippling shot? Maybe that makes it viable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was viable before.
Oh, yeah.
I was just running a higher damage Ranger build. And then, of course, I'd have to take a perk every time I wanted to run a spear. So that would also take up a slot. And I'm also having to use enhanced hearing, making sure I'm hearing everything.
Yeah, enhanced hearing and the one that lets you see the footfalls, man. I love both of those. Just for survivability and pursuits, really.
Yeah, the chase part can be really good. I just prefer the hearing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really nice. Once you get used to it, at first it's like, ooh, It's
Yeah.
like, are they close to me? Are they two modules over? Like, I don't know.
Who knows? I don't think Ranger really needed the damage buff. I thought they were fine how they were. But I mean, I'm not going to complain. That's 5% more damage.
Yeah. And with the nerfs to the
Right.
bows and stuff, I don't know. I think that kind of balances it out. You don't have to take ranged weapon mastery. Should, but
Yeah.
compared to like the 3 weapon damage perks that Barbarian can take, like, yeah, 10% makes sense. You know, if you're dishing out 70 damage per headshot, it's only 7 damage.
Yeah.
And then Cleric got some pretty crazy changes. Secondary default weapon changed from the Wizard Staff to the Spellbook.
That's a nerf.
You think so? I mean, a lot of people try to get Spellbook pretty quick just for the casting speed.
Not if
I
you're
think
running
it's
smite.
Oh, that makes sense because
So
the
if you
magical
run
damage.
smite, divine strike, blessing, protection. You don't get you get the first hit from protection, and then you get a little bit of damage, so you get the trade, and then you get the extra magical damage from magic staff for the smite. So it just added more damage. So the better staff you had, the better smite build
Ah,
you do.
Yeah.
I wasn't 100%. I haven't been able to, like, if they had like a training room or something, we could test stuff. Like if you find a mall or something with like magical damage. I don't know if it stacks right, but I know the staff 100% stacks. But everyone, so that taking away our staff for smite is a nerf, but giving us spellbook is nice because it's a better animation, feels cleaner and it's nicer. It's better in tight corners. You don't end up hitting something.
yeah,
You
that's a
just gotta
good
watch where
point.
your hand places. I mean, it's nice, but I think it's
Yeah, I mean, Spellbook, like, just aesthetically makes more sense with the Cleric, but yeah, knowing that, they're still going to be out there looking for the blue staff then.
Oh yeah.
yeah. I've seen people like last wipe. I've seen Shy Guy get one tapped by a smite build.
Yeah, yeah, Smite can be absolutely brutal. That and Holy Strike, like,
Oh yeah.
so the lesser healing spell count amount was changed from 4 to 3. That's a rip. And casting
Big
time
rip.
was increased by a quarter of a second.
Oof.
Holy
Yeah,
Strike. Yeah, what?
it just makes your spells count a little bit more, and with the quicker less downtime now that with the clarity, especially with the bard, we'll be like boom 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 done done. Okay, we get up and go.
Yeah, that's
It'll
true.
feel like half the time now.
Yeah, for those longer fights, it might be a bit of a struggle, but I mean, yeah, 4 was a lot anyway. Like, were you burning out of lesser heal in one fight?
Yeah,
Not
Yeah.
always.
it's yeah. If you're running front line and you're just bursting, yeah. Especially if you're getting hit by rangers and getting sucked, your teammates getting sucked on by a vampire. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. It really
I
just
want
depends on
your
how you play
blood.
cleric.
I think they should shorten the range for warlock.
Yeah, it is kind of insane. Curse of Pain, or what is it? Blow of Corruption?
Yeah.
Low corruption. It's okay if you block it.
No, Curse of Pain is the one I'm thinking. That's the one that everybody uses to get the HP back and all
Healing.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, curse of pain and power sacrifice.
And Holy Strike now has a half-second delay before dealing its damage, so that's kind of like the Wizard's Lightning Strike.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like you drop
that's
it
a good
down.
thing. It's a good thing and a bad thing. A bad thing when they're in the center running out. Good thing when they're in the center when they're on the outside running. So if
Right.
they're running in, I think the closer you're into the center, it does more damage or something. Or edge it does less.
Okay.
Not 100%. But
So it'll give you a time to kind of get out of it, but I mean, a good cleric's going to lead that shot a little bit. That's all you need to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just gives us a different approach on how we use it. So instead of just like casting it right where they're at, it was kind of a little bit of a delay anyway.
Yeah.
So like when you cast it now, you cast it the direction of where they're going. So boom.
Right. Just kind of let that drop and then you start casting the second one as that's delayed. So I don't know. It's going to be kind of brutal.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. So you can at least get another one started by the time they're dealing with their slow.
Yeah, because I think Holy Strike's like a 2-second casting time, something like that. Yeah. Holy Light just got bumped from 2 seconds to 2.5 seconds. A base heal decrease. Oh, and spell count amount is down to 3 on that as well. Okay.
Just fine.
Yeah.
Fine. They're
We can
just
work with that.
taking it out on the cleric. I get it.
Right.
My main class. So it's
Yeah,
okay.
you leave those barbarians alone. It's like, what? And then Earthquake and Locust Swarm both got decreased down to 1, which,
I get Earthquake, but I don't understand Locust Swarm getting hit. Was anybody
Well-
ever running Locust Swarm?
not after the last nerf.
They've done like low key other updates that we haven't like. They changed the amount of single item slots and stuff. So they might be trying to they might be changing little things that we're not aware of.
That's true too.
So it might have been doing more damage than we were aware, and nobody was running it because it's dog water.
It's true. It used to do a crazy amount of damage, and now it's like, wait, somebody's typing in here right now. Oh boy.
Yeah, there was a problem with this new lizard skin that messed up the chaff.
Oh,
So they're working on it. Where were we?
we're down to Wizard. So Wizard's Haste no longer grants movement speed bonus, but instead increases spellcasting speed by 12%. So I think they kind of killed Haste.
Yeah,
And
Haste is for
Invis
sure
now
dead.
leaves an after image every second and a half. So that's pretty brutal.
Super
think it's-
brutal.
I think it's good because instead of going super fast, which is just not what they wanted, not what they were looking to do for the game. They wanted to slow people down a little bit.
Yeah.
So I could see that working better for the wizard now. So the wizard could just cast haste on themselves and then pop invis on everybody super quick, and then they could just pop out and then start casting everything super quick. Bam, bam, bam. Like super fast. Then
They
could
just get
possibly
Fireball.
Yeah,
even
pop
quicker.
that on pop that on like a warlock or something, and they got super like a bunch of knowledge stacked up, and they're casting super
Yeah.
fast already. There's a Hellfire meta already in the works.
Mhm.
Like you Hellfire a door as a team doesn't understand what's going on, we're all dead. That can take out a whole team with a shot, especially
Yeah.
if they're standing in a corner room and not realizing what's going on, and another team pushes one way and they're trying to run out, and the warlock has his spell already ready. There goes the whole team again.
You
They have
could
to
also
push
set
through
that for
door
like
or fight.
Earthquake and other stuff like that. That takes
Oh,
a while
yeah.
to set up. That's a good point.
Yeah, a lot of people are like, "Oh no, it's just no, it's changing the meta, and that's what they want. That's what we need. We don't want people getting stuck and doing the same thing every day. No, we
Yeah.
want to change. It's good. It's good health. People play a different class or something if they're mad.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it just got boring. It was like, okay, this meta comp's pretty cool. And then it was like, okay, now everyone from, the top tier streamers to the brand new Timmies who have been at it a week are all trying to run it. It's like,
Yeah,
uh,
we might see a few instead of just one meta. We might see a couple decent ones now.
yeah, that'd be good.
Maybe. I hope so.
I mean, Barbarian's always going to be viable. He is the tank.
Yeah, they're just crazy strong, even with this change. Now we're into Bard.
Your class.
You're excited about this.
Oh, so
Saturday.
excited. Yeah, like, okay, so there's an issue with Wizard. We nerfed the Bard. There's an issue with the Barbarian. We nerfed the Bard. Clerics have less heals. You know what we should do? We should nerf the Bard.
Yep.
Okay, all right, that's fair. I'm just, I'm a meme class anyway. I know what it is. That's fine. All right, we'll nerf it. Base
Targeted
attributes have been
Iron Mace.
updated. And by updated, they mean nerfed. We got strength down to 13. Great, because I don't want to do damage. And then will from 7 to 8. We couldn't have done knowledge, guys.
Well,
Knowledge.
that's good because I feel like it's pushing Bard players to maybe bring a damaging spell.
That's
like
true.
Piercing Shrill or Den of Darkness.
Oh, good thing they nerfed those too.
I think
Oh,
that
fantastic.
adds to your resistance.
Yeah, and duration. Encore skill now plays the next song at the maximum song playing speed. I love this because Encore, like in theory, it could have been really good, but in practice, it's like if you know the song, like a lot of the Bard songs, I can be tabbed out into Discord reading something and I can play my Bard song. Like I know the timing. So Encore was like, okay, take 5 other songs or be able to play one without thinking. It's like I already do that. Shriek of Weakness AoE range changed from 3 to 600 to just 300. That's fine. That's fine. Song of Silence AoE also changed down to 300. Okay. I don't use Song of Silence much, but I guess they're just trying to kind of keep those a little bit more concise and cohesive. I've noticed some of the AoE ranges, like what we call the vape on the cleric. It's like it has this bubble it creates, but it kills things way outside of it. So
It's like a foot outside.
So like when I would do Shriek of Weakness, I would try to keep them in that range, but it was hitting things like way outside of it. So it's like, okay, it doesn't really make sense. On paper, it's a 50% nerf, but in practice, it's like I'm still trying to be up there with the party, closing that gap anyway. I don't think it's going to be that bad.
Yeah.
Choral of Clarity spell recharge interval changed from 3 seconds to 2 seconds, and the amount has been changed from 8 to 17.
Like I was there.
So,
That's super
yeah.
big.
Yeah, that's
Get into
huge.
a fight, you got your cleric in the back. You're able to keep pressure down. You sit down for 2 seconds.
Right, drop
That's
that clarity
7.
real quick.
That's 17 in the amount that clarity. That's
Yeah.
a lot of spells.
Yeah, that's over double.
Yeah. So it should be all the spells back, especially with the sitting down stack as well.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that. I'm so bummed about this. Luck value has been changed from 100 to 50. Man, come on. But they did increase the drops overall, so I think it'll be fine. If I really want to complain about it, I'll buy a luck potion. It's 50 gold.
Yeah. I mean, the bard is lucky and it should have buffs. Maybe like he should be able to take that 50 and then another perk to boost it or something, or like a spell. Like I like when you open the chest. Like I think that should maybe give like a +5 to luck.
Yeah, I would be okay with the nerf if when you open the chest, it also gave it the luck perk because like your song is opening it. But from what I've heard, I guess the luck perk didn't transfer to that or didn't transfer properly or something. So that might be a good point.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty interesting.
The cost of all spells used by the warlock have been reduced.
I missed that.
Yeah, what's this? All spells used by the warlock cost has been reduced. That's fair.
The base warlock is really hard to recoup sometimes.
Yeah,
You missed 1 second, a couple of spells, and you're dealing.
right. You just end up toasting yourself.
So if they can figure out a way to balance it right, like yeah, they get a little bit of extra healing, but if they get smacked hard enough, they're done.
Yeah. And I mean, to counteract that, Torture Mastery now doubles the cost of the spell.
What is Torture Mastery?
That's the
That
one that
is-
gives more healing.
No,
Okay,
that's
power
vampirism.
set.
That Torture Mastery is the one that gives the like
Power
curse of
set.
pain. Yeah, lets them last longer.
Oh, okay. And is it a 50% increase to the
No, I'm sorry. Torture Mastery is the one that lets you heal.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So
Oh,
that's
okay.
when yeah, so yeah.
Well, I mean it makes sense. That's a big change to that class. So,
Yeah, all curses inflicted upon enemies for one cast after we teach insult damage world also cost. That doubles in first equip. So let's see. Yeah, so power attack by 5 3 person. 5 fires. No, it doesn't change it directly in the site. It could be in red.
I'm interested to see how that plays out. I'm probably going to be talking to Dowsey about that first thing tomorrow. Like, dude,
Oh yeah.
is Warlock viable? Is Warlock dead?
Is it dead yet?
Yeah, right. Is Warlock dead yet? So they made some changes to the portals for each locale, updated the amount of players and portals. Goblin Caves is now set for 7 players and 4 escape portals plus the one fixed. So 7 enter, up to 5 can leave. I like this because I really wanted to see more PvP, especially in Goblin Caves and the Ruins. Ruins was 16 players? How many was it previously?
I think
Is it-
18.
Oh, okay. So we've got 16 players and 12 escapes for Ruins now. So that means at least 2
believe
teams
they
are going to get
increased.
wiped.
Yeah. Probably much more than that. No one gets ruined.
Yeah. Crypts is going to be interesting. So now we've got 18 players, 10 escapes, 3 fixed escapes, 4 down portals, and 3 fixed down portals. The fixed down locations can be used by multiple players and do not close. So they didn't change that. I wonder when they say 4 down portals, do they mean there's only going to be 4 that pop up? Or are you going to have 4 of the clusters of 3?
I think it's
I
for
would
the
assume-
clusters.
Yeah, close.
Okay. Inferno set for 15 players and now has 7 escape portals.
That I have an issue with. I don't understand. Why have Crypts set to 18 players but
Well,
Inferno at 15?
Because
all 18 players could technically go to Inferno.
Yeah, because the locations they can
Yeah.
do not close.
yeah, that's
Six
interesting.
hells don't close. So what would happen? Would 2 teams spawn in with each other?
Yeah,
That's a very good question.
yeah, that's interesting. They might have goofed that up. I mean, maybe they're thinking because you have the 4 sets of 3, so that's 12, plus the 3 fixed locations, that's 15. But yeah, 18 makes sense. And then 7 escapes. Didn't we have. So they increased it by 1. Because wasn't it only 6 escapes? I guess I have not been counting portals enough. I mean, in this clip I'm running, what do we have? 4. Let me skip up here a little ways. 5, 6, 7. Okay, so it was 7 when we escaped. So maybe they didn't change the Inferno portals. Maybe those are remaining the same.
Yeah. Maybe it was the amount of people. Like spawn points in the
Yeah.
Inferno.
I do like this next change. Proximity VoIP has been disabled, and all player names are hidden during the base camp phase of the game. I think this is really going to help with like pre-game teaming and all of that. I'm really happy about it. Still emote
still
at each
think they
other,
should-
but
I still think they should just do guild hall or a private room where people just queue straight into the dungeon. You don't need to be interacting.
yeah.
It's just
Yeah, but they
creating.
do have emotes, so why would they have emotes?
I'm not gonna lie. Some of the lobbies are really fun, but it also can create a toxic environment for other people.
Yeah,
It
it
could
can't
get
super
really
quick.
toxic out of nowhere.
Yeah, as a streamer, it's like, okay, we're going to run away and turn that game audio off. Holy shit. Shrine of Protection's physical damage reduction has been reduced from 15 to 5, and the magical damage reduction from 20 to 5. Shrine of Power has been reduced by 50, and Fountain of Speed has been reduced to 10. So those got big nerfs.
Yeah, those are good.
Yeah,
It's gonna be better for games.
I see
there are
some
those people
teams
who just
not even
camp
using them.
shrines.
Yeah, and then some people camp them, and it's like, well, they just have a crazy buff until it's over, and they last for a while too. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, I mean,
Oh,
maybe reduce
the
the
chat
time,
games.
but yeah,
the Chaff Games desktop app was having a problem. Oh, it's an app. I guess it's like a separate app from Ironforge, I guess.
oh,
Or
is
not
that what they were going on? Let's see. Patch
No.
process is complete. We're aware of the update with chat. Oh, okay. It's having issues. We recommend restarting the desktop app. Force automatic game update. Oh, okay. So then their comments, they say, hello, adventurers. With Hotfix 18, we were able to establish a good baseline for the balance of the game. We had to strip back some of the diversity of gameplay to get to this point, but it was necessary. But this necessary step has also helped us to gain a better understanding of the complexities of our systems. Using this knowledge, Hotfix 19 is our initial step at rebuilding greater diversity in the playstyles, including major updates to the classes and a rework of several perks and skills. Really happy about that. This is only the first pass in our goal to add more variety to building your characters, and we will continue to adjust items and add more content for each update. Other issues we've tried to address in Hotfix 19 are the unsatisfying loot and the buff ball meta. Yeah, they really targeted that nicely.
Yeah.
We've now improved the quality and amount of loot in the dungeons. Although epic items will still be extremely rare in the normal dungeons, you can expect to see a lot more uncommon and rare items, especially from the high-end chests. We are also not done experimenting and have made some drastic changes, such as the temporary removal of clarity potions as loot drops, in our hopes of addressing the buff ball meta, and we will continue to monitor the situation and adjust as needed. Establishing this baseline has also enabled us to confidently focus on designing larger content features, which we will start rolling out with the early access patch number 2 in a couple of weeks. We appreciate your patience on the roller coaster ride, and thank you for your support. I think they did a good job with this overall. There's going to be some interesting changes and this and that, but
Looking forward to the future of the game.
the last week with the loot drops and everything, it was like, okay, we're just gonna hold on. It's gonna be fine. But oh man, it's a little tough.
All right. Well, thanks for having me on, man.
Yeah, thank you guys for joining. We'll get this uploaded soon, and be sure to check these guys out. We got Dank206 and BeastBorgMusic. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.